Some quadratic expressions can have a number different than 1 in front of x squared. Now let's see a couple of examples. Now in these two examples, notice that in front of x squared we have 25 here, and here we have 6. Now we are going to check if these two are perfect square trinomials. If they are, then we are going to factor them. If they are not, we are going to write prime, meaning it cannot be factored. Okay, let's start with number 1. Now we have 25x squared plus 60x plus 36. Now, what is 36? A perfect square number? Yes, actually this is 6 squared. What about 25x squared? Here, is 25 a perfect square number? Well, yes, actually it is 5 squared, but since it's 25x squared, I consider this as 5x squared in parentheses. Now, for this one, 60x. Can I get this 60x as twice the product of 5x and 6? Well, let's see. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 6 is 60x. So, yes, we can get this 60x by multiplying the product of 5x and 6 by 2. So, it is exactly the same as before, just that we have this number in front of x squared, which we have to check if it's a perfect square or not. Now, let's repeat. For 36, it's a perfect square. For 25x squared, it is 5x squared in parentheses. And for 60x, we just check if twice the product of 5x and 6 gives me 60x, which is yes. Hence, this is a perfect square. So, we are going to factor it as follows. We are going to say this is actually 5x plus 6 squared in brackets. Now let's check number 2. Now here, is 36 a perfect square number? Yes, actually 36 is 6 squared. And is 6x squared a perfect square expression? Well, here 6 is not a perfect square expression. It's not a perfect square number. So 6x squared is not a perfect square expression. Hence, since 6x squared does not satisfy the property, we will say that this is not a perfect square trinomial. Hence, or you can say it is prime, which means that it cannot be factored. So we stop here. So if we repeat, here this number is a perfect square number, but here 6 is not a perfect square number, so 6x squared cannot be expressed as some expression squared. So I'm not going to check this because this fails to satisfy the property. So we say it's not a perfect square trinomial, or we say it's a prime polynomial which we cannot factor. So if the last and the first numbers are perfect square numbers, and if I can get this by multiplying these two and by 2, if I get this, then this is a perfect square number. Otherwise, it's not a perfect square trinomial, then I cannot factor. Okay, now we have 5 questions here. Please check if these are perfect square trinomials. If so, factor them, and if not, write prime. So please solve these questions and show me your answers.